Last time on Trusted Renovations, Gina took a field trip to Apple Valley Farms to salvage wood from an old barn and give it new life in Jennifer's home. And ABC Windows replaced all the old windows in the Trusted Renovations home project with Energy Star efficient, beautiful new windows. Plus, Breda Pest Management set up a termite barrier designed to prevent infestation and protect Jennifer and John's investment. Today on Trusted Renovations, septic solutions with Mr. Reuter. Watch as they take steps to update and stabilize the home's waste system. And Trusted Toolbox updates the guest bath by making the privy a little more private. Plus, all Four Seasons garage doors gives the Trusted Renovations home a new look. If you're looking to renovate your home, we have the research solutions for you.
This is the story of Jennifer and John. It's our story, turning this 1970s brick ranch into a 21st century home. 25 projects, 25 contractors, top companies creating a total renovation. It's shingles to foundation, plumbing to pool. It's a classic and stylish transformation, and you get to see the actual costs. This is Trusted Renovation.
Welcome everyone to Trusted Renovations. I'm your consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, here with Bob Meekert and Billy Dyer with Mr. Reuter Plumbing and Septic. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing great, Dale.
Thanks for coming. Let's face it, when it comes to septic systems, anything less than exceptional workmanship, well, it just stinks.
Really?
I worked hours on that. So that's why when we faced a complete septic upgrade at the Trusted Renovations home, I knew I had to call in a professional, an experienced company that didn't mind getting down and dirty in Jennifer's backyard. Okay, guys, this was a big job. Billy, what'd you see when you got there?
I saw an absolute nightmare. You had sewage leaking all over the place, and the system was old, and we knew we had our job cut out for us when we seen it. It was just like, wow.
You can't ignore a septic system for 25, 30 years, right?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay, so you can't just go start digging around when you're dealing with sewage. There are many regulations homeowners must meet for the permitting process, including testing the soil. Let's take a look back at that crucial first step at Jennifer's home with Mr. Reuter's soil inspector.
I want to explain to you just a little bit about how a septic system has to be permitted. The health department requires that you put your septic trenches 2 feet above the water table. And we've run into some water table issues out here. And on this property, you're going to have to put your trenches at a shallow depth to stay above this water table. It's doable. It'll take what we call an alternative system, a pump that will have to lift the effluent to a shallower depth so that you can stay above this water table. Taking a core down to a depth of 6 feet, that indicate that there's a little bit slower drainage. So we're at 5 feet right now. First sign of some gray colors, which suggests that as long as we stay 2 feet above that system, should perform just fine.
So once we got the thumbs up from the state, that's when the real work begins. Bob, give us an overview about what you do when someone needs septic help.
Well, first of all, we try to we want to get their location, of course, and how old the house is, and when was the last time the tank was maintained, pumping, any repairs, any work that has been done.
So you triage the problem and you're efficient with people's time.
Exactly.
Billy, what happens next on site?
Well, what happens next on site is we get out, we dig the tank up. Once we open the lid, we can begin to troubleshoot any existing or prolonged problems that develop over time. Usually somebody's backing up, or usually somebody has discharge on the property.
So, Billy, what are some common problems you encounter when someone's been ignoring their septic system?
Well, some of the common problems is there's what's called baffletees in the system, and what happens is those have a tendency to rot, and when it does that, it allows solid material to get out into underground trenches and destroy the drain field.
Yeah, and so Jennifer was not happy with the news that her septic system had failed, and it had been decades since anyone had dealt with it. Later on, Billy's going to walk us through the steps it took to stabilize Jennifer's septic system. And speaking of Jennifer, let's hear what she had to say about it.
We had to have the septic, all the lines moved from the back of the house to the far left-hand side of the house because we wanted no septic out the back so we could put a pool in. And it was hilarious. We didn't know where the septic tanks were, and the septic tank company was asking us where were they. And according to the plans to the builder, the tank was in this certain place. Well, it wasn't. And do you know how we found it? I came home one day and I looked through the laundry window and the whole top of my septic tank was open, and it was about 10 feet away from where we thought it was. A truck had ridden across it. One of the builders that were building out in the back paddock had rode across it, and the whole septic tank, the lid caved in, and I'd never seen inside a septic tank before. It was very enlightening.
Coming up on Trusted Renovations, do you remember when you used to use your garage door as a backstop? Not anymore. Check out some updated design details available for today's garage doors. And later, we'll show a common mistake to avoid when redoing a bathroom. Here's a hint: sometimes old is better than new.
We knew there would be some cement underneath that tile. We just didn't think it would be as thick as it was.
Trusted Renovations is sponsored by All Phase Home Services.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. My investigation shows home energy savings begins with all-phase home services. From blown-in and spray foam insulation to a solar-blocking radiant barrier, all-phase delivers real solutions to slash your utility bills.
We're committed to providing you energy-saving solutions and great customer service.
I've not only done the research, I actually installed a radiant barrier in my home, and my power bills were cut in half. Start saving today with all-phase home services. I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. I've done the research. For honest roofing service, you can trust ARAC Roof It Forward. Customers not only get an excellent roof that exceeds industry standards, but with the Roof It Forward program, ARAC donates a portion of every dollar earned to help fight childhood cancer.
They did our roof, our gutters, they did a new dormer on the front of the house, and we had a wonderful experience, and I would definitely recommend them to my neighbors and friends.
Roof It Forward today.
Chuck is buried under a mountain of debt. He's considering bankruptcy, but will he qualify? Can he keep his house and car? Will creditors sue him? Will they finally stop garnishing his wages? Luckily, Chuck called Clark in Washington, Georgia's largest bankruptcy filer. They'll handle all his paperwork, counsel him on strategy, and attend all court hearings right by his side. Schedule your free consultation now at cw13.com or call 770-488-9300.
Dan Watkins joins us now from All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Thanks for being with us, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. We're going to talk a little bit about garage doors. Tell us a little bit about what does garage door do for your home visually?
Well, first thing is curb appeal, and garage doors have kind of been set aside. People work on the rest of their house, make it look nice and pretty, and they forget they got a 16, 18-foot opening to their house that maybe takes up a
largest opening in the house.
It's the largest opening in the house, and it's just a big piece of your house when you're looking at it from the curb. So getting a new garage door can really help the curb appeal of your house.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I was on your website earlier, and you've got this try a door on tab there. So people can kind of get a visual of what a door style would look like on their home?
Yeah, a couple things we can do. For one, you can take a picture of your own home, and we can pretty much paste that door or whatever door you're looking at to see how it would look on your home. And of course that's important because for each home there's a different type of garage door that's going to fit that home. But as well as that, you can also get on and just rifle through the different doors, change windows, change colors, change designs, and that's going to help you decide on what you like.
Now, on our Trusted Renovations home, what kind of door style did you use up there?
We did these, they're called Classicas, a very nice door. It's unique because it's a 3-section door instead of 4-section. There's 7 different designs that you can pick out, but because it's the 3-section design, that actually changes the look of the house. And then as far as that, we also did some different things. We tried to show people how you can change the windows and how easy it is to change those windows. We changed the color. We did a solid door, changed it into a 2-tone door to show you what that looks like. And then we also showed you some different hardware options, some decorative hardware. So with each door, there's some different options you have even within that same design.
Now, when you were coming together for this final design for the house, how did you guys select the hardware? How did you select those ornamental items?
Well, we looked at the house itself. We looked at colors, obviously. We tried to match colors to the house. As far as the design, we tried to stay with designs, looking at the windows. I like to take window designs that you already have in your house to make it fit, make it look like it's always been there. It matches up with the house. And then just the different, between a ranch or traditional, colonials, whatever, you're going to have a different design that's going to match that.
Now you guys came out with some magnetic type hardware so Jennifer could get a visual of what she was selecting, correct?
That's right. And there's two things. One, let's see if you like this particular hardware. Number two, where do you want it? There's no right or wrong place to put your hardware.
Okay.
You can do the decorative hinges and the handles. Some people just pick the handles, and then you can move them up and down the sections depending on what looks best to your eye.
Well, I tell you, her garage doors look fantastic and are a perfect complement to the rest of the house. You did a great job up there. When you put in a new garage door, obviously there's a good, a better, and a best.
That's right.
We're fairly mild here with our climate in Georgia, but talk to us a little bit about how important it is to have your garage door insulated.
Well, it is a mild climate from the standpoint of where our winters aren't too bad.
Right.
But it still gets cool at night, and if you don't have insulation in those garages, it's going to make your heating bill go up significantly. Or come down if you get at the insulated doors.
It's a large space.
But even the bigger thing is our summers are not mild. Our summers are very hot, and that air conditioning unit's going to run all day long. If you don't build a barrier around that, you can get insulation in your home, insulated windows, but if you're not taking care of the biggest opening in your house,
you're losing money.
That's right, and this is much cheaper than getting double pane windows in your whole house.
Talk to us a little bit about carports versus garages.
Okay, yeah, in Atlanta, and really even Metro Atlanta, older homes, a lot of them had carports.
The brick ranches.
That's right. You see those all over, especially like not in subdivisions, although there are some in subdivisions as well. But with a carport, it is the best use of funds that you can take and put in. It's not as expensive as people think, converting those into garages. You'll typically get somewhere between 5 and 10 times the money back that you put into the home.
That's significant.
That's very significant. If you're talking bathrooms and kitchens and things like that people renovate, they're lucky if they can just get their money back on these.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we look at that, we find the right size door for that particular opening. We frame in, again, we're using siding or whatever it takes to make it look like the rest of the house or that the carport, turn it into the garage, match it all up, and then all of a sudden now you've got a bunch of safe storage space, a clean area. Your car's going to be warmer or cooler depending on the season when you get into it. People aren't going to know if you're at home.
That's right.
So there's a lot of
security issues as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons why that makes a lot of sense for people to do.
Dan, I have been stuck in my garage before. I could not get the thing to open. Is that a call you guys get a lot?
It is a call we get a lot.
What do you do?
That's usually the springs, but the first thing you do, we get out as quickly as we can. That is definitely not something the homeowner wants to mess with themselves either.
No, it's pretty dangerous.
It's very dangerous. So we've had a couple technicians get hurt that know what they're doing, but I've had several customers actually lose fingers and have to go to the hospital. So it's not something you want to mess around with, and it can be even worse than that.
Is that the number one problem usually?
It is. Springs are going to break. They're like, it's like changing your brake pads on your car. I mean, it's just after a while, you're going to have to do it. They're going to break, and when they do, the door's not going to want to go up. The springs are what make the door feel light to you.
And how long is the life of a standard door system?
Listen, that's a little different than the springs, but springs typically, I say 5 to 10 years now.
Okay.
It used to be 8 to 12, but everybody uses their garage door like a front door now.
Busy families these days.
And I think some of the recycled steel out there is not quite as good as it used to be. So,
is there anything that a homeowner can do to lengthen the life of their springs?
There is. They can lubricate them. That's always a good thing to do with some of the extension springs. If you get them adjusted every couple years with a tune-up, that can help as well. But some of it is just use, and some of it is just bad luck. When your time comes, it's coming.
They need to call you when that happens.
That's right.
Hey guys, if you're looking for a new garage door, repair, brand new, give Dan a call at All Four Seasons Garage, and we'll be right back on Trusted Renovations.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell from TrustDale.com with real research solutions about plumbing.
We had a house full of guests one weekend and a clogged toilet we couldn't fix.
Kim Gable was in a tight spot.
We could not plunge it. We couldn't get it unclogged.
So she called her go-to company, Superior Plumbing.
They came out and unclogged our toilet before you could turn around.
How did they fix it so fast?
They had a camera they could put down the pipe and actually look at what was down there.
It was a baby wipe.
If I can just get your signature authorizing me to do the work.
They opened the wall right at the point of the clog, got it taken care of. When you're in a panic and you need to call somebody, we called Superior Plumbing. Thank you. That's a relief.
There's a right way and a wrong way to hire a plumber. For more research solutions, visit superiorplumbingresearch.com.
Your car's transmission has 800 pieces. That means there are 800 things that could go wrong. And when something does go wrong,
there's only one place to go, AMCO.
We're the transmission experts with over 50 years experience rebuilding and replacing transmissions. AA, MCO.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell with TrustDale.com. Lots of shops claim to deliver. My research shows AMCO is the hands-down choice for transmission repair and total car care.
Frugal kitchens and cabinets, life happens here.
Creating the perfect kitchen in just 5 days just got easier with Frugal Kitchens and Cabinets. I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Frugal Kitchens is proud to announce the grand opening of its 4th Atlanta location in Acworth. To celebrate, they're offering $2,000 off a complete renovation. Plus, visit your local Frugal showroom for a chance at even more savings.
Frugal kitchens and cabinets, life happens here.
Updating a septic system is not a fun way to spend money, but it's well worth the expense to avoid an unpleasant experience down the road. Here's Mr. Reuter showing us a step-by-step solution to creating a new drain field in Jennifer's backyard.
Having to move the septic system is going to be a big job. We have to create a lot of piping under the ground to hold the waste. And because we're creating a bioefficient system, the septic waste is going to be pushed into a series of underground tubes or chambers, where it can then soak into the ground effectively, creating a richer soil content. We had to dig the trenches about 4 feet down so they would sit on a solid soil foundation. Once they were done, we lay the piping into the ground, which we then cover with a plastic chamber to hold the septic return. In moving the septic system, we wanted to update the old concrete septic tank, which is an underground box. So instead, we're using a more modern plastic drainage system where we install the pump unit. Once everything is in, we can close it up and begin covering up the system. The very last thing we needed to do was power the pump above ground, here with an alarm system connected to it in case there is ever an emergency backup. When it's done, you can barely tell the difference.
That was quite a job. Here's the bottom line. To create a new drain field for this septic system, they needed to dot the I's and cross the T's to ensure the best results. So here are the numbers. In order to properly evaluate the system, a crew visited the home and pumped the existing system, which should always be done. The cost to do the work, including a dispatch fee, $178.95. Because Jennifer wanted to reroute the system to allow for an in-ground pool in her backyard, they also had the soil tested, which passed and was permitted for a total of $800. Now, most systems work with gravity, but the waste in the Trusted Renovations home needed to travel uphill, requiring a sewage ejection pump. That cost $8,400. The grand total for a worry-free septic system, $9,378.95. Now that we have the bones of the waste system in place, it's appropriate that we take on the guest bathroom. Have you ever accidentally walked in on someone using the toilet? It's embarrassing for both people. In Jennifer's guest bath, the toilet is the first thing you see when you walk into the room. To avoid those awkward moments, Gina brought in Trusted Toolbox's Chris Lalamia to reconfigure the space and update the style. Gina?
So joining me now is Chris Lalamia with Trusted Toolbox. Chris, you worked with us on the bathroom up there. You did multiple projects, but the bathroom was the big deal for us. Talk to us a little bit about what you found and what you did.
All right, yeah, we love that bathroom project. When we first got out there, we looked at, coming off that main hallway, and we saw it was a really small opening. So we wanted to open that up, talk with the homeowner a little bit about doing that. And the first thing you saw when you walked in there was the toilet. And we thought that would be a good idea to hide the toilet and switch the vanity around. So what we really did was just open up the space a little bit, add some tile, put a new vanity in, switch where the toilet and the vanity were, and then finish it off with some crown molding and a nice coat of paint.
Right, so not a major renovation, but just a little bit of something to give it a new updated look, change the configuration just a little bit, not huge though. Now tell us a little bit about, with the age of the home being the 70s, What did you find when you walked into the existing bathroom?
Yeah, so when we first looked at it, we knew we were going to be up against a few things that we weren't sure about, but there was probably the biggest one was we knew there would be some cement underneath that tile. We just didn't think it would be as thick as it was.
How thick was it?
It ended up being 4 inches thick.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of demolition.
Yep.
Did you do demolition?
So we didn't demo that.
All right.
We decided to go off the bedrock. So what we ended up doing was floating it out to make it nice and smooth, and that gave us a good start getting into it.
So the tub that's in this bathroom, talk to me a little bit about that. The homeowner wanted to take it out.
Yeah, she did. I wouldn't say I talked her out of it, but we definitely had a lot of discussion about how great a cast iron tub can be, especially for that home and what it can do for the house.
The newer tubs tend to be maybe a little flimsy, is that right?
People like to get cost-effective tubs, and sometimes they might be moving a little bit more. We've had experiences with that before, where people want to get rid of the old and put in the new, and don't realize that the old was probably better than the new to begin with.
Right, but the cast iron tubs can be refinished if they don't look good, because I think the reason she wanted to get rid of those is because it didn't look so nice.
Right.
In her mind, but it was really actually okay.
Right, and it actually turns out to be a more cost-effective answer. Somebody can come in and refinish that tub. As long as they know what they're doing, it's going to come out looking beautiful.
Fantastic.
And these folks are going to get in a nice hot tub.
Chris, we have so much more to go over about your renovation project at the Trusted Renovation House.
Yes, we do.
Fantastic. Hey, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Trusted Renovations is sponsored by All Phase Home Services.
Whether you're planning that home improvement project or you just want to be a smart consumer, having a sound financial plan is essential to both. To talk about that is Phil Calandra with Calandra Financial Group. Phil, how are you?
Good, Dale.
What is investainment?
Well, investainment is a term that you've coined as we've been on radio for some time now, and it speaks to why the news media, I call the noise media, is trying to hype and sell things to you all the time financially.
When they're selling things to you, they're causing what we call churn. What's churn?
That's the notion that in the financial services industry, the product is being focused and it's being commission driven, or it's being sold over and over again.
Which makes money for the investainment folks.
Right.
What's a better route to
take?
take?
The better route would be sound financial planning, focus on strategy, and focus on the outcome that you and your family are trying to accomplish in your retirement planning or your financial independence, rather than picking products and trying to follow hot stocks and things of that nature.
You can learn more about Calandra Financial Group at trustdale.com.
My husband and I were falling asleep when we heard a scratching noise in the ceiling above my bed. I knew it was squirrels. So I went on trustdale.com because I know they do real research, and I went with their recommendation. I called Breda.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. I could tell you Breda Pest Management is a rock-solid, family-owned company that delivers, but their competitors claim to be great too, whether it's true or not. The difference is I've done the research, and you can see it in how they solved Marnie's problem at BredaPestResearch.com. I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. I've done the research. For professional garage door installation, repair, and service, you can trust National Garage Door. Reliable and convenient, Gwinnett Cobb is now National Garage Door. Same local owners, same great service, serving more people. Ready to upgrade? Come to their Lawrenceville showroom to check out their huge selection of custom metal and wood garage doors. Plus, it's all backed by my Make It Right guarantee. Call National Garage Door today.
One of the first challenges we ran into was looking at the threshold and the transition from the bathroom to the hallway, and we got that figured out. Some of the things we ran into with this project was just that it was a little bit of an older house. It looked pretty straightforward, but as you ran into a couple of things, some of the plumbing had to be taken into account, a lot of old plumbing. So that means we had to bring in some extra framing materials to bring out what we needed to do. We went ahead and put up our backer board, which is what you apply your tile to, make sure that your tile is not going to move. And when you put it on anything else, sometimes those walls start to give or move over time. When you put up backer board, it's a cement-based product, and it's a lot stiffer for us to put the tile on. So we like putting that up because we have a better substrate to work with. After you put your backer board up and have it ready to go, you put the waterproofing solution on. From the waterproofing, what that does is keep the water from getting out behind the walls. So when you apply your tile to it, make sure that the water stays in the shower or the bathroom, wherever you've got it. When we started working on the floor, of course, we had to have it all leveled out. After we got it leveled out, we started applying our tile. You can see these large format tiles. They look great when they're down, but they're actually a little bit of a challenge to put down. You'll see that even professionals use spacers and have to take special time to make sure that they get it all nice and level. As we talked about earlier, we had to level the floor, and we first thought we would take it down to the subfloor and then build it back up. But when we ran into 4 inches of concrete, we realized we had a good base to work with, but it was really uneven. It really came out great. Even if you go in there with bare feet and try to run your feet across the bottom of it, you'll see that the tiles are very level, which is a pretty hard thing to do in some of these large format tiles. As we put the subway tiles up in the bathroom, we wanted to make sure we had the right pattern, but we also wanted to put some accent in there, and we did a little bit of accent work in the niche, which you'll see when we finish up. So we picked these tiles just to accent the floor tiles. The subway tile look is pretty popular right now and coming back, relatively timeless. Something that if you ever put in, you'll never take it out because it was too trendy. You'll always be able to rely on it. But it really did that just to keep everything open, light, and airy, and pretty excited about where we think it was going to go.
If ignorance is bliss, Jennifer would be a lot happier if she didn't know about some of what's going on with a renovation. She says she's in shock over one part of it, and that's not even counting the time a truck ran over the septic tank.
The process to the house is going great at the moment. It's a lot slower than I anticipated, but I really thought things would move faster. But obviously, you have to wait for one tradesman to completely finish before the next one can come in. I multitask, as every woman does, and I believe they should be all working in different rooms at one time, but apparently that's not the way it happens when you're doing a renovation. But it is moving along. I was a little shocked when the pest guys came out and they told me that I'd had rodents in the attic and that they needed to close up some of the eave space under the house. So that was really interesting. There's been a lot of laughs along the way and a lot of traumas up to now. Septic was definitely one of them, but it did go well in the end. We had all new septic lines put in. Luckily, we got a new lid to the septic tank. But it was interesting. It was hard getting it through the city because it had to be cleared by the city, which who knew that? But I've got to give compliments, you know, Trusted Toolbox have been absolutely phenomenal. They've done a great job in the bathroom across from the main bedroom. I think the best part of what they did was they consulted with me directly and asked if I wanted to keep the old bathtub because it was heavy cast iron. And I got to keep the old bathtub that was in there, and they put new tiles around it, which is perfect, absolutely perfect. So, you know, all I can say is kudos to Trusted Toolbox for that. They did a great job. The rest of the process has been really good. You know, there was no termite damage at the house, which was something really great to learn. You know, Breda Pest said that there was no damage anywhere. So, you know, up till now, yes, we have a roof on the house, we have termite inspections, we have septic done, and we're underway with the bathroom. So all's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it is looking pretty good, Jennifer. Great job, everybody. Since Jennifer just recapped everything we got done, let's skip ahead to preview what's happening next time on Trusted Renovations. Fabulous new floors. Find out what it takes to match old hardwood with new. And decisions. Picking the perfect paint can be stressful. Watch Jennifer as she works with a professional color consultant to set the tone of her living space. Plus, wait till you see what's hidden in the ducts of the Trusted Renovations house. And it's not just dust. Thanks so much for watching today. I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Gina Townsend and I will see you next time on Trusted Renovations.